Welcome to the 8 Billion Project, where we're on a mission to make an impact by discovering and sharing the purpose of every person on this planet. I'm your host, Liza Florida. Enjoy today's episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 8 Billion Podcast. I am your host, Liza Florida. And again, another amazing guest for season 5D. She's the founder and chief blesser of Bless. In 2018, she stepped away from a successful career in corporate America to pursue her passion for helping others. This pursuit led to the creation of Bless, a mobile application that brings communities together to help one another in every part of the world. Bless is free to download. It's free to use, collects no user data, and contains no ads to distract from its purpose and content. It's a gift for humanity. And my guest is a gift to the world. Welcome, Tara Eusebi.
Thank you so much. It's Eusebi, but you're so close. It's a hard last name.
And it was so audience. And this is what's the beauty of podcasting. We can make mistakes and it's okay.
It's all
because
good.
I had intended to double check the correct pronunciation, and this is what happens, but we're just going to let it fly.
Yes.
One more time. What is your last name, Tara? How is it pronounced? Sorry.
Eusebi.
Eusebi. There you go. So everyone, Tara Eusebi.
Yes.
Welcome to the 8 Billion Podcast.
Thank you so much, Liza. It's a privilege to be here. I'm so excited.
No, I'm equally excited. You have an incredible mission, an app that's called Bless. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? And then we're going to swing back to your background to how you got here.
Sure. So yes, our mission is to change the world by changing lives one need at a time, uniting humanity and impacting generations through the power of Bless. And Bless just so happens to be an app that I created for the world. It really is something that was birthed out of my heart because of my passion for wanting to help people. And, I had just had this question asked, like, if you could do anything, what would you do? Or what is your passion? That was the question. And it kind of stemmed into that. And I said, if I could do anything, I would just go bless people. I mean, for me, that's like the peak moment of every day is when there's an opportunity to make somebody's day better, to make it easier, to make it lighter, just to be a blessing, no strings attached. There's just nothing like it. If you haven't tried it, I dare you all to try it. And so I created this platform where people can go and they can share their needs, because need doesn't make you needy. It makes you human. And we are all human. We all have needs. We all have something that we need every single day. And when we share those needs, then others know, and knowing empowers them to help. So it's just bringing this community around where people can say, oh, you know what? I'm being a little vulnerable here. We're so used to just taking care of everything ourselves. Mm-hmm. But if we would just ask for help from people, it does so many things for us because it brings us together. It unites us, and it gives us that human contact that we're so desperate for. And on the other side of that, you can also offer to meet needs on Bless. So if you have things that you want to bless others with, it could be clothes that have been in your closet that have served you well, that you're ready to pass on to somebody else. It could be, as I mentioned before we got on here, a Brita filter for your water pitcher. It could be something so simple like that. It could be a helping hand, a listening ear. It could be someone to go on a walk with. Whatever it is, we all have something to give. And so on Bless, we really encourage humanity to give on purpose, with purpose, to change lives and impact generations. It's much different than looking to get rid of things. We don't really promote the get rid of mentality on Bless, because we realize how much power there is in the items that we have, or in our time and gifts and talents, how impactful that could be. And so we're really creating this culture on Bless inside the app where people begin to think differently. And even in the midst of their own need, where we encourage them to give back, even if they're like the most desperate need ever, if they just change their mind and change their way of thinking for a moment to give something to someone else, how powerful that can be. And I've watched it change lives over and over again. So this is Bless.
No, it's incredible. I mean, you have experienced probably what might seem like 3 years of miracles.
Yes.
Left and right.
Really and truly. That is so true. Yeah.
Right? Because, okay, so I want to talk, I'll use the second half of the podcast to talk more about Bless, because I've got quite a few questions on that. And I'm pretty sure the audience will want to know. But right now, Tara, could you give us a little bit of a background of what your first half of your life was?
Sure.
Right? Or that first season and chapter of your life.
Sure. So, born and raised in California. I was born in the southern part of the state, grew up in the northern part, moved back down here about 12 years ago, I think now. So I live in Southern California. I had worked many different jobs in my life, not because I'm a job hopper, because I was looking for, where am I supposed to be? What is my purpose? Like, why am I on this planet? Right. I think many people out there can relate. And so I tried, lots of different careers, and I was really striving to get into management, because that's kind of like the framework society has set up for us, right? We go to school, we graduate high school, we should go to college. It's just this stigma in a sense that's put on us all, that we need to fit into it and then get into a management position, make good money, make even better money. Well, I had checked all the boxes. I mean, my last job, I was an operations manager for a company. I was making more money than I ever had, 6 figures. I mean, I was like, this has got to be it. I mean, this is, all the boxes are checked. I've attained. And I was as miserable as ever.
Believe me, I can go into that right now, because I am talking to a lot of people that are in the same position right now. Like, they're all like, I cannot take it. I'm at my breaking point.
Right. And that's what being out of, and I'm not going to say what being in corporate America will do to a person. No, it's not corporate. It's what's being outside of what your assignment is will do to you. So until you can discover what your purpose is, until you know why on earth am I on earth, then you're going to feel that way. And so I feel so grateful that at the age, I was 41 when I figured out, like, why I'm here. Like, this is my purpose. This is why I'm on this planet. And when I was asked that question, what is your purpose? And it didn't take me but a moment to answer, even though, passion and purpose isn't something that we really talk about a whole lot, because we talk about needing to get our bills paid and doing whatever it takes to do that. Right. So that's not really like high on the list of discussions.
Well, Tara, I know this is just random just an off question. I have a feeling we're the same age, because if you started Bless 3 years ago, I'm 44, and I don't want to give your age. That's what I was thinking. I was like, we probably went to school together, or like we graduated probably around the same time.
Yeah. 1995, I graduated high school.
Okay. I was 96, but I was one of those that had to be held back because of my birth date.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was born in September.
Okay. I'm December.
Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, we're the same age. It's so wild. It's so cool.
I know. And it's so crazy, because the whole reason I'm going to eventually get to the app is because I was like, I think I'm going to make 8 billion an app. But I was just like, I keep telling Tara and the audience, this season isn't just a podcast season. It has literally attracted and brought people and souls to my life that literally are a reflection of either of the spiritual journey that I've gone through, or pieces of, I know they are an extension of what I'm going to do in the future. So it's incredible, the synchronicities and the connections, right?
Right. It's so amazing. And it works that way. Oh, it's so good. I'm excited.
Right. Now, Tara, okay, so you hit that point at your career height, but what was it really that gave you the courage to finally say, I'm really gonna walk away from all of this, and I'm gonna follow a bigger purpose? Did you know it was Blessed? I know I asked 2 questions there, but maybe you can answer the first one.
Yeah. So when I was asked that question, what is your passion? What is it you ultimately want to do? It was like November, December of 2017. And without hesitation, like I said, I answered and said, if I could do anything, I would just go bless people. And then I went off to work. And that was that. But what happened, Liza, is it wouldn't leave me alone. That whole thought, that whole thing that I had discovered, like helping people, it just kept bubbling up and bubbling up and bubbling up. And then I would find myself in the supermarket, just picking up some groceries after work one night. And I was just passing by people, and I had this thought, if you knew that the person you're passing here in the market had a need that you could help with, would you help?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah, I would totally help if I knew what they need, but how can I know what people really need?
Yeah. Yeah.
And literally at that moment, I thought, we need an app where people can share their needs and offer help in their local communities and even throughout the world, where we have something in our hands on these devices that we're glued to all the time, where we could do something good for humanity. And it began to bubble up and bubble up. And it would not leave me alone. It wouldn't leave me alone. So I kept going to work. And I mean, this is tough because you have this, you can start to see this thing, right? You see what this could potentially become. You have zero experience on how to make any of it happen. I mean, I like to say -0. I had no experience, not any, probably not at all. But you could see it. It started to become so real on the inside of me. What ultimately gave me the courage to step out is the faith that I have in Jesus Christ. And that was ultimately what I stepped out on, the belief that I had heard from him, that I'd heard from God the Father, and that this was my purpose and my assignment in life. And if I was, for some reason, making a mistake, that God is so big and he's so loving and he's so kind that he would literally pick me up and dust me off and put me back on my feet if it wasn't right. And I had to have that confidence. And it was a battle. I mean, there was a lot of challenge with fear. I mean, you're walking away from a paycheck to go do what? And thank God for supportive family that I know kind of tilted their heads and went, okay, they didn't even I didn't understand, let alone having them understand. But yet they trusted that I could hear, and hear clearly because of the relationship that I have with Jesus, the walk that I have with him. And they trusted that because that's how my parents, they were that example for me. No one can make you be that way. It's your choice, right? So they were that example for me, and I chose that. And so it just became stronger and stronger to where, okay, it's not enough just to know what I'm here for. I have got to step out. Literally, I would wake up thinking all humanity is waiting for me to do this. I've got to do it. And so it would be February of 2018 with my body shaking like a leaf that I would step into my boss's office and turn in my resignation notice and obey God.
Now, at that point, you hadn't even started the app yet.
No, I hadn't started the app yet. Because here's the thing, when you're out of position, when you're in working something that you shouldn't be doing, this job was literally draining the life out of me.
Yes.
It was taking every ounce of faith and energy and everything just to go to work every day and make it through the work week. Can you all relate to that? Like,
I'm almost breathing deeply, like just hearing that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how it feels. It was so it took everything. I mean, there were multiple days of just tears and it was just miserable. It just felt when you're just out of place. So there would be certain things that would start to bubble up, and I was taking action when I could. I knew it was going to become something like this. So I started with what I had, which wasn't anything, honestly. So I thought, well, let's research, how do you make an app, right? I mean, this was the baby steps. And then I remember being in the gym one day, and there was a lady that had on, my class instructor, she had on a t-shirt, it was black, and it had a little logo on it that was white. I don't even remember what the logo, but when I saw the black and the white, I knew the logo for Bless will be white, and the background of it will always be black. And so things like that just started to come. And so no, I didn't have the app created. I quit my job. I took a week vacation because I had already had it planned. And then when I came back, I hit the ground running, thinking, okay, let's start this thing. And I have pencil drawings of what I wanted Bless to look like, what I could envision this app to look like. I mean, that's how I started, and just little baby step by little baby step by little baby step. And it's been 3 years since we launched the app, because it launched March 25th, 2019. So I quit corporate in 2018. It took me a year to get all the things together, find a development team, which is fast. I mean, it's really fast if you think about it.
Yeah.
And that's because when you have God on your side, kind of giving you the download for the plan, it all comes together a lot quicker and easier.
It does.
And so in that year, and then we launched March 25th, 2019. We just celebrated, depending on when you're listening to this, the 3rd year anniversary since we launched the app. And we're changing lives. We're changing the world. It's so wild. It's so wild.
Literally, I'm going to be in tears because it just brings my heart so much joy, Tara. Honestly, these are the stories that I want the audience to hear, because I know all of you guys have dreams in your heart. And wherever you are on your journey, I want you to know Tara and I are perfect examples. Like, we left after our 40s.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I don't even know how I'm going to support myself now. Tara, really quick, I wanted to ask you, because you said you have that voice in your head. Do you hear Jesus? Is that what it is? Who's the one that asks you, what, if you could do anything, what would be your passion?
That question actually came from my mom.
Oh.
Thank God for moms, right? I mean, she knew I was so miserable. So one morning she's like, you know what, if you could do anything, what would you do? And, like, ultimately, what would you do? And it just sparked in me, and I answered immediately. So that was that.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as instructions and all that, I'm not going to tell anybody that I hear the voice of Jesus audibly. I do not.
Yeah.
But I do have a close relationship, and I do believe that I can sense by inside, there's just this something, this knowing, this is the way you need to go.
Yes.
And sometimes it sounds just like me talking to me, but because we're so close in relationship and I spend time reading the Bible, I believe that I'm in line with God's plan. That's my heart, is to do what he said to do. So it's really unique, because I don't want anyone to think, oh, well, she's, a Bible thumper, a Jesus lover. Yeah, I am all of those, but bless is actually for all humanity. It's not faith-based. It's not religious, because I just love people, every person, no matter who you are, what color what challenges you're going through. Even if you don't even know who you are, I love you, and I want you to share your needs, and I want you to offer help, and I want to help make your life better. That's why I created this platform. So no one is exempt from being a part of Bless. We want all humanity to use this as a pure platform. That's what it is. That's why there aren't any ads. That's why we're not collecting your data. Money is not my motivation.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound wild? I mean, I quit my job, walked away from 6 figures to do this assignment, and money is not my motivation with this, because I know it's not supposed to be. So, and I'm well taken care of. And it's a miracle.
And it's going to and the blessings are even going to become bigger.
And that's the thing. How can you lose with blessing people?
Yeah, you can.
You can't lose. I mean, I have given a gift nothing you've ever seen out there. I literally cannot lose, because I've done it with such a pure heart. And I'm not bragging about that. I just want people to know that this is intentional, because humanity needs something with no strings attached, with no fine print, a paragraph or pages long saying why this isn't really free. No, we need something. I wanted something like that, right? And so that's what Bless is. It's a safe place where people can go. They can share their needs without judgment, but not without accountability. And the accountability factor is because we want your life to actually become better. Yeah. Isn't that wild? I mean, that's what we want. We want to make your life better. So that's why we have systems in place like Vouch for Me. We want to know who you really are. We want to know that you know people that will vouch for your character. It helps keep the community safe. It helps people know when they reach out to you or see that you've shared something, that you're a real deal and not a scam, because we know scams are real and legit. This may be one of your questions that you were going to ask me for future, the safety of Bless. But yes, we want to make sure that it's a safe place where you feel like you can go there and you can share from your heart and be supported. Even if people can't meet that tangible need exactly, or that need you shared exactly, but you can get encouraging words that will uplift you. I can't even tell you, Liza, how many lives that I've impacted just by offering kind words to bless and just being there for them. I mean, it's amazing.
No, that's absolutely incredible. I mean, this just literally, I mean, when we had our pre-podcast interview, it was mind blowing already. This right here is just like, when I have you and we're recording this and sharing this with the audience, even more comes out because I have more, questions that's absolutely incredible because you collect no user data, right? And you don't collect any ads. So how is this possible at all? I mean, is it through donations? How do you keep this organization going?
We never ask for donations. I do have people that through the course of these years have been like, oh my gosh, I love what you're doing. I want to give toward this, even though Bless is actually a for-profit company. You might be thinking Tilt. Yeah, I know. It sounds weird.
I know. I'm all like, you guys have to watch this podcast on video so you see even the facial reactions.
You do need to see it on video. So it is for-profit company because I believe that was the correct way that I needed to do Bless. And maybe there'll be a nonprofit arm of Bless in the future. But for right now, it's for-profit, currently not generating regular revenue at all, like hardly any, honestly. We have some people that do give monetary gifts to Bless because they want to help either people that have shared on Bless or they want to help propel the mission forward. It's not enough to pay the tech support on the monthly. It's not. So here's how I live my life. If God called me to do something, he's the one that gave me the vision. He needs to make the provision. And guess what? He provides every single time. It's amazing. It's wild. It's amazing. We've never skipped a beat. Bless is debt free. We don't have debt. I don't have loans to do this because this is what God has assigned me to do. He's responsible as long as I follow his steps and I don't go wonky, go doing my own thing. Because then once you get off on your own thing, you're responsible.
Yes.
Right. And so I keep it, all him. And then he's responsible to supply. And I've been 4 years since I left corporate. 4 years since I left a paycheck. It's wild. It's so wild.
No. Okay. And Tara and audience, this is exactly what I wanted to show you, 5D. And some people might not call it 5D. It's unity consciousness. It's leading with love. When you come from a place of purpose and passion and your mission, and it burns inside you is to help others, your needs and beyond that will be met. It's just, this is exactly what I wanted to show was in this season, I'm pulling in everyone that might seem like they're miracles, but yet they pulled from a deep knowing from within. They're serving others for their growth and giving others blessings, but yet their needs are met or over and beyond met.
Yep.
And that's what's incredible. This is exactly what and look at Tara. She's not crying here saying, I can't do it. It's just, that's exactly what I've been trying to teach or at least display by showing people on this podcast. Like these people are more than surviving. They're beyond blessed because the world now, Tara, is a reflection of your giving. It has given back to you tenfold beyond anything.
Right.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. I mean, it really is a miracle, honestly, but it's not because of anything that I've done directly or indirectly, but it was always on my heart. Like, unless I felt like I need to ask, I never want to ask people. The expectation should never be on people to provide for me. No, I have a God who's my source and he supplies and he's well able. And so that's my testimony through it all because there's no strings attached here. I created this platform so that people could use it, so that you could get on there, you could share a need. I won't ask for a donation. Why? Because that's not my instruction. I don't need your money to make it happen. This is my assignment. The provisions, I have a higher financier. Let's just put it that way. And he's well able and he takes care of it all. So it's just, that's how and I know there's going to be people out there that think I'm crazy and I'm okay with that because what I'll say is just keep watching because there's coming a day when you're going to see Bless is so global. Every house will know its name. I mean, you'll see the trucks coming up and down the streets, delivering goods, maybe even to your house, you know, to bless you, just to bless you. I mean, how wild is that? Doesn't that sound like too good to be true? Well, it's about time we have some of that, right?
Something like that, right?
On the way, yeah.
I know. We have got to change the way people see life.
Yeah.
It's like everyone was just like, oh, 8 billion, like you have such a big, it's very ambitious. I said, I know, I don't know why. You know what I mean? I was like, I can do this. I don't know where it's all going to come from, but I just have this faith that I know that if I'm in service to others, that my needs are going to be met. But the biggest gift that it gives me is the growth it takes, you know, is the growth inside. Because I'm pretty sure, Tara, right? We were talking about it. The courage, the fear, everything is coming to the surface.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's been a very interesting character building ride. And I'll throw this in there too. It wasn't that long ago that I didn't like people. Any people. None, I know. And it's shocked, but it is, you guys could ask my family. They would tell you, yeah, no, she didn't like anybody. I mean, just this bitterness, this disdain, this whatever it was for people in general, short-tempered, all of these things. And it took growth to realize the real disdain, bitterness, short-temperedness had to do with my dislike for myself.
Yes.
And once I could deal with that and understand that until I love myself, it's impossible for me to love my neighbor. And I'm still growing. Yeah, but I'm still growing. But I mean, it's a miracle on so many levels that if I can go from that to founder and chief blesser of Bless, are you kidding me? Someone that just had such, and really, again, it was an inward thing. You don't realize how it propels outward when you're in that state and you think it's everybody else, but really it's right here. And I had to come to terms with that and make some changes in my life. And I didn't even realize that in making the changes that needed to be made in my life, that would eventually make me a world changer.
It is. Because and I want to tell this to the audience, is the big mission of 8 billion is really like unity consciousness, oneness. Because if you understood by stepping in, like going inward, you would realize how powerful of a being of love and like a beacon of light that you are. And it almost feels like they're miracles, but that's truly our power from within us and our creator, everything all in line. That's why I'm just like, Tara, this is such, even just recording this podcast and having everything unfold right now is such a blessing for me, because I'm on that same journey. And people are like, well, how have you had that type of growth with the podcast? And I said, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the downloads or everything that everyone else would look at. I said, I paid attention to the messaging and the people and the lives that it touched. And so I feel like this is just the beginning for both of us. If not, I mean, congratulations on 3 years already. Now, let me ask you, because you did give that example. You said it could be the smallest things. It could be like groceries or words of kindness. Now, I did mention this before we started recording. I'm of course, many people know, if by this time it's released, that I am filming a documentary. And I was asking Tara, I was like, well, I know that we were going to go back there and bring school supplies to these kids. Since Bless is worldwide, how would something like for myself, if I'm looking for maybe school supplies to give to these children's or donations, how would that work?
Sure. So you would join Bless first of all. And then once you're on the app, you would just simply share a need. And what would happen is the way that Bless is set up right now, because we're still growing, is it's set up by default to where you can see globally who posts and shares what needs and offers to meet a need on Bless. Now, when we get so inundated with needs and meets, you can actually change that radius down to your local community. You can do that even now, but we have it set up by default. When you sign up for Bless for the first time, you see everything because we want everyone to understand how it works. So you would share your need, and then people would begin to reach out to you, to connect with you, to say, How can I give to this? Now, a big part of being on Bless is that accountability factor. We encourage everyone to use Vouch for Me. So the more people that vouch for who you are, then the better. So the way that works is you can actually send those requests to people that don't even have Bless. You can send them to people that via text or email that know you well. They answer 3 quick questions about you. How do they know you? How long have they known you? Share something about you. And it's actually really cool to get these responses back because you sometimes have no clue that these people felt this way about you. I mean, I've been blessed just in reading how people have vouched for me. So that's one part. And then the more people that vouch for you, then when people see your post that you're asking for these things, then they're like, okay, this person's the real deal because they can actually view and see what people have said. This again provides an element of safety on the app that no other platform has. We lack this in social media because how many times are our accounts being hacked? It looks like our friend. It's not really our friend. Right. And so this
all the time right now,
this takes it up another level to where you can actually look and see, okay, is this real? And then, so you could do it a couple of ways. You could say, if you want to give a monetary donation, here's my link for PayPal or whatever, or I'm doing a GoFundMe. You can include that link in the post, or you can say, hey, if you're in my local community, or if you just want to have Amazon drop some school supplies at my porch, reach out to me. They can private message you on Bless to exchange sensitive information like your mailing address or a meeting place or whatever. Then the exchange can take place. So it's person to person because it's all about bringing people together. Yeah. It's not all about me doing all the work. I love doing it, but it's not all about me blessing the world. It's about humanity, every single person doing their part because we all have a part to play. It can be so easy to change lives. Right now, we're actually running 100 days of Bless. We started this on March 25th. It'll run through July 2nd. I'm not sure when this is airing, but you may see this happen again in years to come. And for 100 consecutive days, we're just really throwing it out there to saturate social media, saturate our communities, saturate the world with Bless. So I've got Bless ambassadors that are going out daily to bless people with intention. And I've got this one that just keeps dropping these things and how she's just, leaving a little note for somebody to encourage them. Plus she's got her little Bless card to share the app with them. I mean, it can be that simple to really make an impact and change a life. So all of this is possible through the app.
Wow, Tara, you are an incredible, incredible soul. And you did talk about that. I commend you though, for, like what you're covering it all. I mean, if we're not having any experience and then having this huge vision and you're covering everything that I didn't even think about, which was like safety. Yeah. But when you do want to grow and scale to that, there's so many things going on with like even what you're saying in social media, just people hacking accounts or imitating them.
Right.
Yeah. So let me ask you then, Tara, you obviously already have such a beautiful vision. Do you have a 10-year vision for Bless and where you'd like to see it?
Yes.
You do, of course.
I see Bless going so far. This year, it's been on my heart after I did the relaunch to really start to focus on Bless supply houses. And these are like warehouse type locations that I can see. They're in here. They're right in here. But soon they're going to be out here.
Yeah.
Where people, like, let's say they do want to get rid of some things, because that's a reality, especially here in America. We're very good at getting rid of, where people could actually give that get rid of stuff to a Bless supply house, and then Bless would distribute it, or people could come and buy without money, whatever they have need of. So this is all in the future. Like I still have a vision for Bless for the desktop computer so that we can take it and not just be on a mobile app, but also be available to everyone, even on computers. I want to continue to expand Bless and get it into multiple languages as we grow. I think my main priority right now is just to have people use the app. It's there for people. It doesn't use itself. You have to get on there. You actually have to share a need. You actually have to offer help. It doesn't take long. It's super simple. And then one of the coolest parts after you've done that, just a little side note here, you shared a need, you've offered help, you've actually had your need met or met the need of another, you can mark your post as blessed, share your experience, and it goes in the blessings feed so that you can actually read some good news taking place in your communities and even throughout the world as people bless one another. So this is the vision, is for this to continue to expand to where you see those blessed trucks throughout your community, 18-wheelers on the freeways, the highways and the byways, delivering things, and even probably one day blessed planes in the air.
Oh,
Like we see all these things out there, and I have way bigger vision, but I don't know if I want to spill it all. I mean,
no.
I got wild vision. I mean,
No, my vision is wild too. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm all like, okay, maybe you want to keep a little bit of that to yourself.
Yeah, right.
You start sounding crazy.
Protect that baby, right? Until it's the right timing to let some of it out. But I'm telling you, this is just getting started, and really, the whole heart of this is humanity. How can we come together? How can we help one another? When at the end of the day, no matter what color you are, no matter what religion, no matter what race, no matter what political stance you hold, we all have needs, and we all are able to help each other on some level. And if we will just come together to do that, it can change everything. I'm telling you, I call it the ultimate bad day cure. You're having a bad day, just decide you want to go bless somebody, and something will happen on the inside of you that makes that shift. I actually had another ambassador. She had a situation at her work where she was expecting a full paycheck and ended up getting $17. That can shock you when you're expecting like to pay your bills. And it really knocked her for a loop. But she texted me and said, just preparing for 100 days of bless took her out of that funk she was in. Yeah. And so I'm telling you, this is powerful, life-changing, not just for the person you're reaching out to, but for yourself. It can really revolutionize your home, your life, your community, and in your world, and it ripples out and it affects everybody.
It really does. I'm so glad that you said that, though, Tara. It's just because, oftentimes, and I know we're all in different seasons and journeys of our lives. And sometimes you can't even see past yourself, and that's okay. Right. There's enough love. If you can find it, know that. If you can't find it in yourself, know that people like myself, Tara, that there are people out there that are actually trying to change this world and offer up some good. And at least even bless is an actual resource that you guys can tap into right now, even if it's just kind words or finding someone around you to send you good energy, because it really does. Then when it starts to expand, as you heal, it starts to expand, you'll start to realize, there is so much that there's so much, there's something so much bigger in the greater picture of things. Like, this is beyond us. It's just, we're all here doing our parts with our own skills and talents.
That's it.
Tara, this has been absolutely incredible. And I know for sure I will be in touch with you. But if anyone, of course, would like to start their journey with Bless or learn more about you, could you let us know, or let the audience know?
Sure. Y'all can head over to the website, bless-app.com. From there, you can get the app from the Apple app and the Google Play Store for free, of course. You can also go to check out the founder, and there you'll read up a little bit about me. You can connect with Bless on all social media at Bless Mobile App. And you know what? If you get on Bless, or should I say when you get on Bless, you will hear from me. I message every single new member of Bless myself to reach out, to invite them into my group on Bless, because I like to offer tips on how to use the app, and I like to make myself available. So I am active. You'll see my posts on there where I'm offering help and I'm sharing my needs. I use it. I love it. I use it. I encourage everyone to be a part, so you can connect with me there. Anywhere you find Bless, you're going to find me.
How do you ever have that? You know that at one point, though, Tara.
At one point, it's not going to end. But for right now, founding member. I don't know.
Yes,
but,
exactly.
Get in on there, because right now I manually reach out to every individual to let them know that I'm there and that I'm glad they're there, and I want to be available for them. And I love, because I care about people. I had someone message me this morning asking me how do I create a group on Bless, and then again, well, how do I update my profile picture? And I sent her all the instructions. I mean, this is what I do. That's a way of blessing.
It is. So I'm just going to be all like, at one point though, Tara, I mean, like you're going to have your blessed ambassadors helping all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But you guys, to the audience, when you hear this, get on Blessed, because you at least want to have, a message or correspond with Tara before this whole thing goes so global and universal.
That's right.
And I hold and see the vision for you. My sister. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Liza. I see the same for you and what you're doing.
Right.
We're running very parallel.
When you even I know this is towards the end of the podcast, but I just want to let the audience know, if you can even go back and watch the video on this, for Tara to actually say that there was a point in her life she didn't even like people. And here she is on camera talking about how she's blessing the world. Any life can change, because you truly are such powerful beings when you're so connected to your creator and your higher self. It is literally a different world. So thank you so much, Tara. You will always have a platform and a voice here on 8 Billion.
And
you're always welcome here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, my whole heart, for your contribution to 8 Billion.
Thank you for the opportunity. It has been my privilege. I'm grateful.
Thank you, everyone in the audience, of course, for tuning in to this week's episode with Tara Eusebi. And we will catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the 8 Billion Podcast. If it's moved you in any way, please share your thoughts or give us a review on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. To listen to more episodes, go to 8billionpodcast.com, or to learn more about our mission, go to 8billionproject.com.